Hang on people, it's your boy Nasmaya back again with another video, and as always remember to like and subscribe for more. Algorithm. We are on the road to 100 subscribers by the end of the month, and obviously hit the notification bell so whenever I drop a video you'll be the first to know. Let's go. Obviously the international break is finally over, but you know what, I actually enjoyed this. Obviously international break gets a lot of hate, but I actually really enjoyed it. So we're going to round up some of the games that we saw, and we're going to start off with England. So obviously England played two games, Andorra and Serbia. They beat Andorra 2-0 and they beat Serbia 5-0 away from home. And you know what? There's still some problems. I do think England, we are too slow in build-up. Like it's so lethargic, it's too slow maybe. And that is a problem because Andorra, the two goals we scored, one of which was an own goal, and the other one was a good crossing by Reece James into Declan Rice. But the Serbia game was really, really much better. I think it was the most balanced I'd seen the England team, because for the first time, obviously we had in midfield Elliot Anderson, Morgan Rogers, and Declan Rice. Shout out Elliot Anderson. He looked really, really good for England in that midfield. And now it's all of a sudden it's a competition. It's like a three-horse race for that third position next to Declan Rice. Is it going to be him, Adam Wharton, Kobbie Mainoo? Personally, if Declan Rice is going to play as that number 8, I would have Adam Wharton sitting. But the problem with Adam Wharton, he's got a history. He is kind of a little bit of injury prone right now. He's injured. Kobbie Mainoo, I think if he plays, and if he plays from now to the World Cup, I think, and he's fit for the World Cup, I think he's the one starting. And also another position that might be up for competitions is that left wing, because obviously the last World Cup we played, the last two tournaments we played, it was Phil Foden playing that left wing. But now all of a sudden, there was a little bit of competition. Like Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford, the two guys that played there. Obviously Rashford started the first one, Gordon started the second one, and they swapped for each other in both games. And those two are the kind of the two front runners. I think if Anthony Gordon is like playing really well for Newcastle, especially now they signed the likes of Voltmada and Wissa, so he doesn't have to play down the middle again. But I think he's suspended for the next couple of games. I think that position is his. If Rashford looks like half of what he was at Manchester United, like when he's at it at Barcelona, I think that position will be his. But another name I think that might be under consideration for that position is Jack Grealish. Like, yo, I remember I did say if Jack Grealish is half of what he was at Aston Villa, Everton will be good, and he has been phenomenal. I think he's got the most assists in the league this season, 4, so he could have that position. But yeah, it was a really, really good performance, especially that Serbia game for England. Shout out Gahey at the back. He's been I think he's kind of cemented that position, centre back. Now everyone's going to compete. Who is going to be playing alongside him? Is it Harry? Is it going to be Dan Burn? Is it going to be Ezri Konsa? You don't know, but yeah, man, England look good. Obviously, this is 5 wins from 5 from the qualifier. They haven't even conceded a single goal, but time will tell. We've got to see them against better oppositions, how Tuchel will set up. But overall, they look good. Let's go to Portugal. Portugal played 2 games. They played Armenia away from home, and both of their games away from. They played Armenia and they played Hungary. Armenia, let's be honest, if they lost that game, if they even made that close, it would have been disappointing. But they won 5-0. João Felix looked really, really good to start the season for both club and country. Him and Ronaldo have that link up. I mean, shout at him. And maybe now he can figure out, because how old is he? João Felix. I'm just checking. Give me a minute. João Felix. He's 25, turning 26 next month. So yeah, he's entering his prime years. Like 26, 27, you're meant to be entering your prime years. And if he can do well at Al Nassr, I think there's definitely a player in there, because the talent's there. It's just like, where's his best position? That's one thing they need to figure out. 5-0. João Cancelo scored. Obviously, the big man up top, Cristiano, got a brace. 2 good goals, I can't lie. The first goal was a very good cross by Pedro Neto, and then the second goal was a thunderbolt. I was like, damn. But then they played Hungary, which was kind of the big test for them. And, they were struggling to start the game. I looked at the line, and I didn't know what Roberto Martinez was doing. He put out a line that consisted of a back four of João Neves, João Cancelo, Nuno Mendes, and Ruben Diaz starting in 2025. It's crazy. Like, you got the likes of Antonio Silva, Gonzalo Inacio. Surely they can do better. I think when I was watching the game, it looked like the back four was actually Ruben Neves and Ruben Diaz, and then João Neves was in midfield. But yeah, man, they were kind of struggling, and then Bernardo Silva gets the equaliser, and then they get a penalty, it was a penalty. I think it was a harsh handball because that it wasn't. He was kind of like his arm was right next to the ball, but in this day and age, it was a penalty. And I actually had Ronaldo missing that penalty, but you know what? He bagged, so I hold my hands up. And then Varga equalised again before João Cancelo got the winner. It was a very good goal, shimmy onto his right foot, bottom corner. What's not to like, man? And hey, Portugal, I look at their team, I'm like, you know what, yeah? Ronaldo, everyone always says, oh, Ronaldo, who's going to play? Portugal need to drop Ronaldo if they want to do anything at the World Cup. I'm genuinely thinking, yeah, who the hell are you going to drop him for? Because I'm looking at the other strikers they have. I mean, I guess Rafael can play as a number 9, maybe João Felix as a false 9, but I'm looking like Gonzalo Ramos. Like, do you trust Gonzalo Ramos to lead the line at a World Cup? Like, he is Ronaldo. One thing about Ronaldo is clinical. Like Gonzalo Ramos, yes, the hat trick in the World Cup. It was cute, shout at him, but he got benched at his club for a right winger play false 9, and obviously the other option would have been Diogo Jota, but as we all know, R.I.P. to the guy. Other than that, they don't really have another option up top, so it's kind of Ronaldo or bust for them. I do think for Portugal, they need to figure out what their best midfield is, because I do think in their best midfield, he is kind of trying to shoehorn Vitinha and João Neves in, neither of which are 6. And then Bernardo Silva, is he a right winger for this team? I think I would love to see Pedro Neto down that side. I think Portugal's best front three is Neto, Ronaldo, João Felix, and then you can bring on the likes of Leao, Trincao, Conceição off the bench. So that's just my opinion. Portugal win 2-0. Wasn't the best performance by them, but they get the job done. Then we go to España. Spain, they played 2 games. They played Bulgaria in Bulgaria, and they played Turkey away. The Bulgaria game, I mean, wasn't really much to talk about. I mean, if they lost that game, would have been shocking. They were never going to lose that game. In my opinion, they're the best team on the planet. But in the Turkey game, I think that was of all the games in Europe of the qualifiers, I think that was probably the game of the international break. On paper, you had Arda Güler against Yamal, Kenan Yildiz on one side, Pedri on the other. But damn, I don't think I saw that. I don't think even Spain saw that coming. But because I did have Spain winning, but I did think it was going to be closer. But yo, they absolutely battered them. And hey, shout out Mikel Merino. He scored 4 goals over this international break. And yo, the goals they weren't like mistakes. They were like team goals. Like they were really playing them out. Pedri with a brace again, the best midfielder on the planet. And I look at this Yamal. I can't lie, he was good, but he's got to be more clinical, man. Like, he missed some big gilt-edged chance. I'm like, bro, release it. And, yo, I think Mikel Merino, hot take, he should be Spain's number 9. Because I'm looking at the number 9 options they have. Obviously, Morata, he's their starting number 9, the captain. But let's be honest, man. Morata, he's a bit... he's not as clinical as he's always been. And obviously, they have Ferran as well. He can play up top. And obviously, Oyarzabal. But I think, yeah, the number 9... should be Mikel Merino. Because we saw at Arsenal, when you stick him up top, this guy can score goals. And because I think Spain's best midfield is Rodri, Pedri, and Ruiz. If not Ruiz, maybe Dani Olmo. Both of which, I mean, Ruiz didn't even get called up. And Dani Olmo, he was an unused sub in this game. So yeah, Spain looked good. One thing that is kind of weird is that Kubasi can't get a start in this side. I mean, Kubasi can't get a start. I mean, it's kind of weird because I really like Huijsen and I think the non-man is underrated, but if Kubasi can't get in this side, then damn. But obviously they get the win, and it was a comfy win on the night. 2 wins from 2 in this qualifier, so big up them. Should we touch on France? Yeah, we'll touch on France. France, they played 2 games. They played Ukraine and they played Iceland. Ukraine, it was a comfy win, 2-0. Should have been more, I can't lie. Mbappe with a very good finish to put them ahead. And then in the second half, I believe... Sorry, Olise scored the first goal. And I did say Olise this season, probably it's going to be a superstar season from him. And then Mbappe with a very good clinical finish. But then he missed a one-on-one, tried to dink the keeper, and then didn't really work out. He was really, really good in that game. He gave Zabani hell in that game, and I can't lie. Ukraine, they'll be kicking themselves in the foot. However, France did suffer some injuries. Ousmane Dembele and Desiree Doué did go out for them. I know Enrique is fuming because those are your two-star man missing for. They got some big ties that will be missing. They're going to miss Barcelona after they come back from the international break. Literally, their first game is the big one, Le Classique. So they're going to miss that as well. So that's a big miss for them. But they should still be comfortable. You still got the likes of Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Gonzalo Ramos, Lee Kang-in. So they should be good. And then they played Iceland, the second game, and they went 1-0 down. Olise had a big mistake, back pass, which fell to Goran Johnson. I hope I got that right. But then they get a penalty. I think Thuram won the penalty. It was a penalty. Mbappe scores it to become France's second all-time top goal scorer, which is crazy. I mean, let's be honest, Giroud, shout out the record, but I'll be unless he gets injured, I'll be shocked if Kylian Mbappe isn't France's top goal scorer by the next World Cup. And obviously, he was in behind again. He squared it to Badi Barcola, and he was really and gave them the winner. But 6 minutes later, Aurélien Tchouameni gets sent off for a ridiculous challenge, and then they were kind of on the back foot at the end because they thought Iceland had equalized in the end. I don't know what Konate was doing for that defending, and also Magnan as well, but it did get disallowed for a handball, so France did get out there with a win. We then finish off in Italy. Italy had 2 games. They played Estonia, beat them 5-0. Let's be honest, if they'd lost, was anyone shocked? And then, one more thing on the France game. Shout out Manu Kone in midfield. He was really, really good for them over both games. And I think that might be the partnership going into the World Cup, Kone and Tchouameni. If I see Rabiot starting in that World Cup, Deschamps, get the hell out of it, man. Anyway, the next Italy, yes, they played Estonia 5-0. And they also played, obviously, Israel. And that was a very good game. I actually watched that game. They went 1-0 down. And then they went 2-1 up. And then somehow they brought it back to make it 2-2. Israel brought it back to make it 2-2 for courtesy of Dor Peretz. And then Italy went 4-2 up courtesy of Politano and Raspadori before Bastoni put the ball in his own net, and then Peretz again scored another goal to make it 4-4. But in the 90th minute, Sandro Tonali came clutch with the win. And shout out Sandro Tonali, he was really good. He was really, really good over both games. But one thing I've learned from the Italy side, had they finally got some decent strikers there, because after obviously, Italy, they've always been known to having top strikers, the likes of Del Piero, Toni, Inzaghi, Di Natale, Totti, etc. Then they had a pair. Immobile did have his things out him. I remember when they were lining up with Graziano Pelle up top, Raspadori, Scamacca. But hey, Moise Kean and Matteo Retegui, they looked really, really good over both games. I mean, Moise Kean got 3 goals. Retegui, I think, 2 goals and 3 assists over this period. So, they looked really, really good. And yeah, man, 2 wins from 2. I do think long-term Italy are kind of cooked because I'm looking at their group stage. I'm looking at their group and they're kind of... where are they? Italy here. Yeah. Obviously they got a game in hand, but Norway have been phenomenal. They're 5 wins from 5. We'll get to them in a sec because we do have to talk about them. And they are 6 points behind them, but they do have a game in hand on them. So that'll be a good matchup for them. Speaking of Norway, they went full BTA, beating Moldova 11-1. Damn. Sometimes, yeah. Do you have to go that hard? Pause. Damn, 11. That's crazy. But yeah, man, 11-1. Haaland getting 6 goals was ridiculous for them. So big up them, man. Haaland, 5 goals? Sorry, 5 goals for them. Hey, but guess what? Yeah, he needs service, innit? But they'll tell me Isak's a better striker than him because he can do dribbles. Brother, I don't care if you can do dribbles. Can you score 5 goals in one game? Shut up, man. He's getting benched for your careers and them, man. Anyway, that is all that happened in Europe. If I didn't talk about your team, unfortunately, I didn't watch them play. So, I'm sorry. Sorry. Then we go to Should we go to South America? Yeah, we'll quickly go to South America first. South America, Argentina. They had 2 games over this international break. They played. To be fair, most of the South American teams are already through to the World Cup. I'm looking at the table here. Argentina, They lost against Ecuador. I mean, Messi, they rested some of most of their guys, so so fair enough. But then they won the other game, which was against yeah, they won the other game against Venezuela, 3-0. Messi scored a brace. That second goal, that first goal was absolutely ridiculous. Lautaro Martinez got a goal. I think one thing they need to figure out is what is life post Messi, because I do feel like they're too dependent on the guy. Now look, he's in many people's eyes, he's the greatest of all time, so I can understand why, but they do need to think of life after him. And we're interested to see who's the starting striker for them is Julian Alvarez or Lautaro Martinez. Julian Alvarez more of the link man, Lautaro Martinez more the goal scorer, so there is that. Brazil, they played, they had 2 games. They played Bolivia and they played, I believe they played Bolivia and they played Chile. And obviously they lost to Brazil. They lost to Bolivia 1-0. To be fair, Brazil were already through, but I can't lie, Brazil, I think they might be the team that might underperform. I look at that lineup, I was like, outside of the fullbacks, it's basically like the Premier League 11, man. I'm thinking Bruno Guimaraes, Andre Santos starting for them, Richarlison leading the line, Alisson obviously in goal. They lost 1-0 obviously to Bolivia, but they did beat Chile 3-0. And yeah, they beat Chile 3-0. Very comfortable win against Chile. Again, bar the fullbacks. The fullbacks, they play anyone there. Wesley of Roma and Santos of, I think, plays for Zenit, were the ones that started. When I look at their midfield, it was Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, Gabriel at the back, Rafinha, Estevao, Martinelli, who looked decent for them, and João Pedro. It'll be interesting to see who plays at the number 9 between him and Richarlison. The left wing, I do think when Vinicius Jr. comes back, it'll probably be his. The right wing position, that's another one that's up for grabs. I mean, Neymar, if he's fit for that World Cup, does he start at that number 10, which means Rafinha goes out wide? Or does Rodrigo come in, or does Estevao start for them? That's going to be the question. Midfield, I think Bruno Guimaraes is probably going to be a starter for them, and I think next to him probably going to be one of Casemiro or Andre Santos, and I think the backline picks itself in Gabriel and Marquinhos. So comfortable win. Another team I want to talk about, Brazil, but I'm looking at the table like Brazil. If the World Cup didn't expand to 48 teams, obviously they would have actually not qualified. They would have actually gone for the playoffs, which would have been crazy for a nation like Brazil. Another team I want to talk about is quickly Peru. Peru, let's be honest, it's kind of shocking because if you asked me this in like 2018, they made the World Cup beating Netherlands, and people forget 2019 they were in a Copa America final. But how far they have fallen. They lost to Paraguay in the last qualifier, and so yeah, they got no World Cup this summer, and they also lost to Uruguay 3-0. Very, very sad for Peru, man. Shout out any Peruvians in the chat, man. But that's all in South America. Next up, and finally, we are gonna hit the motherland. So there's one big nation that actually might not make the World Cup, but yo, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Nigeria, as it stands, match day 7. They played 2 games. They beat Rwanda 1-0, courtesy of Tolu Arokodare of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And as it stands, Nigeria are 3rd in their group. They've only won 2 games, both of which against Rwanda. The 2 bottom teams in their group are Lesotho and Zambia, both of which they haven't beaten. Yeah, Nigeria, pack your bags, man. Like, I think they're cooked, man, because one of the reasons why I think Nigeria struggle is the lack of balance in this team, man. Like, I'm looking at their team, yeah. In what world, who runs a midfield of Wilfred Ndidi and Frank Onyeka in 2025? Brother, I'm looking at their team. Ademola Lookman, CAF Player of the Year, the best player in Africa last year. He's playing right wing for Moses Simon in 2025. When you have Samuel Chukwueze on the bench, yeah? Even man like Alex Iwobi, his best is not in midfield as number 10. When you see him for Fulham, he's out wide on the left wing for Fulham. So I don't know why they're doing that. Obviously, Calvin Bassey, he scored against South Africa, which was an illegal handball, let's be honest. But outside of that, I mean, they need to figure a lot of things out, because don't even worry about the World Cup next year. Bro, the AFCON's around the corner, man. December ain't far, man. Like, the AFCON's around the corner, so they need to step up, man. But yeah, unfortunately, that was Nigeria. Let's be honest, making the World Cup. Speaking of Nigeria, we can't talk about Nigeria without talking about Ghana. So Ghana, they played 2 games this tournament. They had they played Chad and they played Mali. They drew against Chad 1-1, courtesy of Jordan Ayew scoring for them. Damn, Jordan Ayew is still starting for them in 2025, brother. Put the gun down, man. Put the gun down, man. Yeah, Jordan Ayew. But I'm looking at their team, I'm like, yo, they got some decent ballers in here. Like, a front three of Mohamed Kudus, Antoine Semenyo, and Jordan Ayew. That's a decent team. I think they should drop Jordan Ayew. Like, they got some decent players. I'm looking at their bench. They got Ibrahim Osman, they got Tariq Lamptey, they got Mohamed Salisu, Ibrahim Soleimana, Kamaldeen Soleimana. Hey, I still get flashbacks to that game against Southampton, bro. And obviously Thomas Partey. So they got a decent team, I can't lie. So yeah, Ghana, man. Although you're not at AFCON this year, you might be at the World Cup though. We'll talk about Senegal, because they had probably the game of, if we're talking about African football, I think everyone was watching this game against Congo, where whoever wins this game kind of essentially goes on top. And Congo went 2-0 up, goals scored by Cedric Bakambu. I forgot this guy was still playing. I remember Villarreal days. And Yohan Wissa. And then Wissa missed a big chance, before Senegal absolutely came back and put them to sleep. Goals by Pape Gueye, Nicolas Jackson, and then a late Pape Matar Sarr goal. And I can't lie, I'm looking at the Senegal side. If they go to the World Cup, yeah, I think they could be sneaky dark horses. I'm looking at the side, I'm like, damn. Edouard Mendy, Caprin Diatta, Khalidou Koulibaly, El Hadj Malik Diouf, Pape Gueye, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Lamine Camara. A front three of Sadio Mane, Nicolas Jackson, and Iliman Ndiaye. That's a Premier League front three, bro. And I'm looking at their bench here. Habib Diarra, Pape Matar Sarr, Boulaye Dia, like Ismail Jacobs. That's a decent team. But obviously, Congo, man, they got some decent players. I mean, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka finally swallowed his pride and put on the Congolese shirt, because he knew that England call-up's never coming. Chancellor Mbemba, Anthony Masuaku, Yohan Wissa. Shout out him, man. Shout out Congo, man. They've been really, really good over the last couple of years. Last AFCON, they made the semi-finals. This AFCON, I expect them to make a lot of noise, and they make the World Cup. That's big for them. Obviously, Morocco, I think they're hands and down. They're head and shoulders the best team in Africa at the moment. Like, obviously, they're ready for the World Cup. AFCON's going to be on their home soil. I think they'll do well. And you know what? Algeria, again, it looks like they're going to the World Cup as well. But I can't lie, Algeria, I don't think they can do much in the World Cup, because this is their first World Cup since 20... Did they make 2018 World Cup? Did they make... I know they made Germany. They made Brazil, the Brazil World Cup. But did they make... No, they didn't. They didn't make Russia, innit? They didn't make Russia, so I can't lie. I don't think they can do much, because they've been really, really bad. Like I got some Algerian friends that are telling me, like, yo, compared to the Algerian team that won the AFCON in 2019, and then the Algerian team that got grouped back to back, this is probably the worst one of the three. And the fact that it's going to the World Cup is crazy. Obviously, my country, we are second in that group, and yo, we beat Somalia, yo. We beat Somalia, and I can't lie, Somalia, for a country that has so many podcasters, yeah. The fact that you guys have never produced a footballer, that actually shocks me, yeah. How is it Somalia has no football, like professional football at the top level? Like that's crazy, man. But honestly, hey, man, if you're Somali, let me know in the chat, man. Overall, those are the games that I watched, man. So, if I was to do like a player of this, like, of the international break, I'll do one per continent. I think Europe. I'll say Mikel Merino, man. Scored 4 goals, a hat-trick from midfield. Honorable mention to Declan Rice and Erling Haaland. Africa. Ooh, who am I going to say for Africa? Oh, my God. Speaking of Africa, before I forget, Cape Verde played Cameroon. Obviously, Cameroon, they beat Eswatini. Let's be honest, it couldn't beat Eswatini. Come on. And then they played Cape Verde. Cape Verde played Cameroon. And they beat Cameroon 1-0 to go top of the group. Cape Verde actually might make the World Cup as well, which is crazy. Shout out Dinon Livramento. But guess who was in goal for Cameroon? Man like Andre Onana. And that goal was just hilarious. Because first of all, how my man runs through the whole team. And then Onana, like, I used to play in goal. I used to be a second goalkeeper. When you're one-on-one, you're taught come off your line, make yourself big, because the more you're coming off the line, the more like you're shrinking the goal. This brother go watch the goal. I can't show you the goal due to copyright reasons, but this brother stays on his line till the box. I'm like, mad at me. Like I want him to do well, by the way. Like I want him to do well, but damn, Andre, man, Andre. Is it us or is it like, is United the problem? Was he just bad, man? Like, yo. And people forget, yeah, he's not even Cameroon's #1 goalkeeper. Like that's the funny thing. And shout out on man. He's hilarious. But overall, that's everything that happened. Obviously, if you got to the end, shout out the 1%ers. You know what? If I didn't, comment down below what country you're from, and if I didn't talk about your country, comment down below. I want to see where everyone's from in this. And as always, remember to like and subscribe for more. I'm trying to be consistent for you. I'm not really going to drop a video once every day, but probably once every 2-3 days during the international break. I might drop a video like tomorrow. Let me know if you want me to drop a video tomorrow, like doing like a top 10 players of this international break, or like the team of the tournament for this international break. So yeah, as always, remember to like and follow for more. Remember to like and subscribe for more. And if you got to the end, comment. You know what? Don't comment yet. Just put a flag of what country you're from. Peace.